Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you here, and thank you so much for all the time that you've put in. For everyone who's joined today, this is Addie. Now, I apologize, Addie. I'm not too sure how to pronounce your surname. Is it Liew?
Liew, yeah, you got it
Yeah,
right.
perfect. Okay, so this is Addie Liew. She's absolutely amazing. I'm really, really happy to have her on the call today. And just to give you a little bit of background about Addie, she is the host of the business podcast, which is called Inspire You to Soar. She's also a certified speaker, coach, and trainer with John Maxwell. The mission is to inspire business owners, entrepreneurs, and corporate professionals to rise to your callings and soar on wings like an eagle. So I'd love to hand over to you, Addie, and just give us a little bit of background about you and what you're going to cover today in today's call. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh, definitely. Well, thank you everyone for having me. And Amy, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to your people. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And also for today, I actually prepared a deck of slides to talk about 2 secrets that help entrepreneurs to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually would like to share my slide, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. So you should be able to just hover down the bottom and click share screen. What I can do is I can make you a host as well. So if you can't, can you see that on the bottom where it says share screen? Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm going to do it this way. Okay, I think everybody can see my screen, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, awesome. And I want to first apologize. I'm in a kid's room, so you see I have all this different stuff in it. But I think the content is more important than my background, so I hope that it will bless you, all of you today.
No, totally fine. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Is this a good time to start?
Yeah, that would be perfect. We usually have a few more on the call, but being that we usually have our team calls at night. So because it's during the day, we will record this, and there'll be a lot of people watching later today as well. So thank you.
Okay, sure. So today, like I said, I wanted to cover 2 secrets. The first one is intentional self-leadership, and the second one is the powerful self-talk. So I'm going to go through the first one first, and then I'm going to elaborate more on each one of those, and then I go through the second one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you have heard, people probably have told you this many times, the growth of your business is really depending upon your growth as the business owner. It's your personal growth. It's mostly your mindset, your skills, your attributes, your knowledge, and all those. And we will talk about that more in a minute.
Amazing.
So, okay, so the first one is self-leadership. We're going to go through that right here. Okay, so I found that Amy Franco has the best definition when it comes to self-leadership. She says that self-leadership is how you lead your own life, setting your course, following it, and then correcting it as you go. I think when she said correcting it is improving it as you go along. So these are the 7 intentional strategies to build up your self-leadership that I came up with from my research. And I found that these 7 are actually pretty easy to look at it, but to do it is actually another story, right? So the first one is build positive habits. The second one is have vision. The third one is be a good follower. The fourth one is have self-awareness. The fifth one is have self-confidence and self-efficacy. And the 6th one is lead with the intention to serve. And the last one is have accountability. So let's do the first one. So build positive habits. It's continuously improving yourself, your product knowledge, your skills, your attribute, your communications skills, and so forth. Be a lifelong learner means maybe put a goal to read 5 to 10 books in a year, or maybe 40 books in a year, right? Depending how much time you have. I was wondering if that sound comes from my background.
Okay.
Focus on, is that what comes from my background though?
I'm not sure. It's we can still hear you quite clearly, so it's totally fine.
Okay, awesome. So focus on your strength zone instead of major on your minor zone, which means whatever you're good at, you focus on that and keep building on that. You also want to build a habit that are consistent habit, be focused and disciplined, and also be intentional. Be on time, be productive, and so forth. So these are just some of the lists that I came up with. And so this is where I got it from, Amy, your website. So
Mhm.
product knowledge, as a doTERRA person, you want to know exactly what your company is offering you.
Yeah.
So I actually didn't know that you offer all this. I was looking at this, I said, oh wow, this is actually a lot of products. And I'm sure this is not the complete set of the product, but these are kind of like the main product that's available, right?
Yeah.
And, and then also the other one is you want to educate yourself so that you can educate your clients well. For example, if you look at this, I found this picture from Essential Oil Emporium because I wanted to find something that said, if you mix this oil with this oil with this oil, what would come out? What did you come up with? So like the throat goggles, I thought, oh, so one drop of each of this oil, then you come out with this that is good for you. So I
Mhm.
think this is the kind of knowledge that as a doTERRA person, you want to build that.
Yeah.
Um, the other one is, oh, okay, Amy, I found this one on your website too, and I like this, and I love the pictures. I thought, I really want to put this in. I think this is a post blog that somebody wrote, or maybe Amy, you wrote this.
Yeah.
So it talks about 36 quick, you wrote this, Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so I love it. So I put it here because I thought, well, this is educating your clients. As you educate yourself, you educate your clients, because the more believable you are, the more people will trust, know, and like you. Know, like, and trust, the three factors.
Mhm.
So the second one is have vision. So these are the categories. These are some examples of categories that you want to have for like your faith, your family, your friends, your career, your business, your hobbies, communication, money, personal growth, health, positive habits, relationship with yourself, relationship with others. So these are just some of the categories, and this is how you put it in the vision board. So this is the example that I found on the website. I found this to be a little bit too busy for my eyes. So I thought, okay, maybe let me try to find something else. So here, this one is actually a little bit better because it tells you what category you can put to put your vision. So here has health goal, fitness, money, career, and the photo of yourself here, the social goal, living, creative goal, and a spiritual goal. So this is how it looks like for a doTERRA person, right? If you, let's say money goal, you want to upgrade to platinum doTERRA. So this information, I got it from Amy, your website, because I don't know what is the
Yeah.
level.
Yep.
So I thought, for money goal number 3, you can do something like that. This is
Mhm.
just an example. And then there's another board that I found. I thought this is also very helpful. They're organized. So it's by boost, learn, creative, love, breathe, and save. So let me just go to this breathe one here. So each one of these, they have 5 pictures. For example, doing exercise, stretching, these are kind of the same. And then sleep well, drink lots of water, and eat healthy. So if pictures, those pictures that speak to you, those are the pictures that you want to use for your own board.
Mhm.
Number 3 is be a good follower so that you understand the world of your followers, and that helps you to connect with them. And also it prepares you to lead others effectively. So what does it mean to be a good follower? Basically, it means you want to learn to follow well and submit to authority. Now, as an entrepreneur, submit to authority is a little bit sketchy, right? Because it's a little hard to do, right? That's the reason why, one of the reasons why we become entrepreneur too, right?
Mhm.
But it's so important when you have a company like doTERRA, you have different levels of leaderships and team and your groups. I think submit to authority is really important. So here's the 8 ways good leaders are great followers. This is based on Brett Lomanick. He said they are finishers. They anticipate. So which means if they're finishers, they start something, they'll finish it. You know this person is reliable. And they anticipate, that means they actually proactively want to know what's going on, and they will proactively find solution to the problem. They criticize in private and they praise in public. I think this is pretty clear. They are trustworthy. They are vision copycats. So when you cascade your vision to your teammate, they catch it and they can catch it and they run with it. So you want somebody like that as well. You want to be somebody like that, and you want somebody like that in your team as well. And they make the leader better. They also lead themselves. That's why self-leadership. And they are disciplined. They are principled. They're disciplined. They are people that you can count on. So then another one is, number 4 is have self-awareness or self-evaluation. So the self-awareness portion is where you want to assess your thinking, your attitude, your behavior, how you handle tough situations, and how you treat yourself, how you treat others, and so forth. Sometimes we forget that how we treat ourselves is also important, as important as how we treat other people. We always learn how to treat other people well, but sometimes we forget that we need to treat ourselves well as well.
Yeah.
So I want to share a story, and this is actually from a very successful CEO, Mehran Assad from National Life Group. This is what Assad do every Sunday morning. He has been practicing self-evaluation since 1990s. He has a mentor, and he has been doing this every Sunday consistently. So he wakes up first thing in the morning, and he takes his coffee. He goes to the den. That's his room for thinking. So he will think about this whole week. When he was in a meeting, how did he show up during the meeting? Was he was he making good decisions? Was he an active listener, or was he talk most of the time? And then did he seize the opportunities to provide positive feedback and constructive coaching to his teammate at that time? Did he invite debate and intellectual wrestling? And did he welcome different opinions and points of view? I think that's important for his level of the CEO level, because all these VPs that are reporting to him, they are all intellectual and smart people. They don't want to keep quiet about the things that they're passionate about, the truth, right? So you want to be able to allow them to speak their voice as well. But at the same time, you want to make sure that they are not overpowering the other team member as well. So there's a balance there. So he does that really, really well. So self-evaluation is important. So the next one is have confidence and self-efficacy. So when I was doing this, I thought, well, what's the difference between self-confidence and self-efficacy, right? They're both beliefs. But here's the difference. Self-confidence is one person, you believe in your personal worth and your likelihood to succeed, based on Norella Harris. And I will actually cover more of this in the self-talk section. So self-efficacy is having the strong and positive belief that you have the capacity and the skills to achieve your goal. So this is more like your skill set, your knowledge. You can build on this. The other one is more about what you believe about yourself, the self-confidence. So this number 6 is lead with the intention to serve. Now, be a host, not a guest. Okay, so when you go to a meeting, when you go to a networking event, even though you are invited as a guest, you want to act like you are a host, in a sense that your mindset is like a host, meaning that when you meet with somebody for the first time, don't wait for the person to initiate the conversation. You start the conversation. And you ask them questions. You come with 4 questions in mind. Like you ask them about the form, FORM. What about your ask them about their family, their occupation. R is recreation. RM is about their message. What's the passion, the dreams, what are they passionate about? So you come with that kind of questions, and then you let them talk, right? Be a host, not a guest. Also, as a leader, you want to be accessible and enthusiastic when your teammate or when your team approach you. You want to have an open door policy so that people feel that they can approach you easily, and they're not afraid to ask you questions. Another one is provide excellent customer service. Now, this is to ensure that you provide customer satisfaction internally and also externally. So your internal customer are your teammate, your people. These are your people. But your external customers are the ones that actually pay you money. You want to provide them with excellent customer service as well. So it's both ways. And then you also want to treat others with respect. So I found that respect and smile are international language. It doesn't matter what country you go to. And if you don't know the culture, you don't know their language, their background, if you respect them, if you smile, that actually opens a big door for you. And usually people respond very well with that, right? So number 7 is have accountability, is be willing to explain your actions to others, usually is a coach or a mentor or your leader, and then seek and accept advice from other people. I think proactively have accountability is important. And sometimes John Maxwell say, being a leader is where you feel the most lonely, because sometimes people don't understand the struggles that you're going through. But he also said that you can become a great leader when you bring other people along with you. It's not so much about you being the great leader, but it's how you develop other people to be the leader as well. And then bring them along with you on your journey. So have accountability, have somebody to okay, so running your business, you need to have a CPA to check your account, right, to make sure that you are following the laws and your books is actually correctly put together, and there is no you didn't do whatever that will violate the laws, right? So it's accountability.
Yeah.
So the summary for these 7 intentional strategies to build out your self-leadership is: build positive habit, have good vision, be a good follower, have self-awareness, have self-confidence and self-efficacy, lead with the intention to serve, and have accountability. So my question right now is, before I go to the next section, is which of these strategies have you been doing? And if you type something, I didn't know what you're typing. Amy, you can please help me to read the questions or maybe provide answer. And also, if this recorded in Facebook, I'm sure Amy will be able to answer your question for you. So, Amy, I'm going to leave that to your capable hands, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, which one of this will you start doing now? Because you can actually do any one of this. Just be really, really good at one at the same one, at least start with one, be good at it, and then continue and then do the next one. And the other questions I have is, which of these is actually the easiest and which is the hardest? So this is something to think about. I think this will help you to know which one you want to focus on. The easiest one is the one that you want to have a quick win. You want to focus on that one first. And then the hardest one, you still want to keep in your radar, but maybe not right away execute it, but you do have to I would encourage you to execute it at some point. Okay. Does anybody have any question for me before I move on to the next section?
Anyone have any questions?
Has this been helpful so far?
Yeah. Yeah. Lisa said, nope, so great. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to move on to the next section, okay? Self-talk. Okay. Self-talk is what you tell yourself all day long. So these are the communication in your head that you tell yourself all the time, and you hear it 24/7. Even when you're asleep, when you wake up, sometimes you think about, oh my gosh, but you're talking to yourself all the time, right? So self-talk, so based on Nathaniel Branden, self-talk will affect your self-image. If you feel inadequate to face challengers, unworthy of love or respect, unentitled to happiness, and fear assertive thoughts, wants, or needs, if you lack basic self-trust, self-respect, and self-confidence, your self-esteem deficiency will limit you, no matter what other assets you have. So self-image comes from what we tell ourselves, right? What you tell yourself, you believe. What you believe, you act. What you act, you become. So self-talk is important to build your self-image. So positive versus negative self-talk. Positive self-talk, we know that it will pull us up, and negative self-talk will pull us down. But we know that we grew up throughout our life, we have heard people tell us negative things. We have heard people tell us positive things. Sometimes the negative things seems to be the one that stuck with us a little bit longer than the positive things. So how do you combat negative self-talk when that happens? So here are the 6 powerful steps to transform your self-talk. The first one is to change your self-label. The second one is to make them visible and accessible to you. The third one is to rehearse daily and frequently during the day or throughout the day. Number 4 is visualization. Number 5 is believe it. Number 6 is to have the courage to take the next bold step forward. So let me start with change your self-talk label. or redefining yourself or labeling yourself. So when you catch yourself thinking negative things or negative words about yourself, then you want to immediately switch it. So before you can do that, you need to start doing things like write uplifting word about yourself. Use the I am statement and ask other people about the one attribute that they see you're good at, that you're really, really good at, your positive attribute. And then you want to add powerful quotes or scripture, and you want to personalize it. And I will go through each one of these right now. So here are the examples of uplifting words. Your problem solver, leader, visionary, excellent communicator, ambitious, confident, brave, creative, decisive, inspiring, knowledgeable, resourceful, and many, many others. So this is how you put it into the I am words. I am statement. I am a problem solver. I am a leader. I am talented. I am confident. I am brave. I am creative. So when you put those words that you accumulate and you put in the I am statement, you have a running list of it. I am, I am, I am, I am, right? So then you ask other people, you can ask your spouse, your friends, your children, your siblings, your church members, or your peers in doTERRA, or your team member, your team leads, ask them one attribute that they see in you, that's the positive attribute that stand out to you. Usually they will give you more than one. Trust me, people will be more than happy to give you more than one. You write it down and you add them to your list, add them to your running list. And then you also search powerful quotes. For example, like Tim Farag would say, who you are tomorrow begins with what you do today. So this is how you personalize it. Who I am, who I will be tomorrow begins with what I do today. So you can tell yourself that. So sometimes you're in the process, you're like, well, I don't really feel like doing this. But if I want to become this tomorrow, then I should do this today. So it's a way to encourage yourself. The next one is scripture. So this is from Psalm 139:14. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well. Because it's already personalized for you, the I, so you can just basically quote that and just rehearse it for yourself. Another one is, okay, so the number 2 is to make them visible and accessible. So what I usually do, well, I have it on my iPhone. I had it there, my list, or I post it on my wall. Sometimes when I post it on my wall, I have to be careful not to let people see it, right? I mean, family members, it's fine, but if your friends come and say, hey, what is this? What is this about? It's a little bit embarrassing. It's a little bit embarrassing for them to see, right? But if you live by yourself, you can post it on your wall, post it on your the mirror in your bathroom when you're brushing your teeth. You run through it in your head, and also on your smartphone. And also another powerful things about your smartphone is that you can record your voice. So when you record it, when you say you record it, the more confident you say it, the more you hear it. Because when you hear yourself say it, actually it's very, very powerful. It actually sink in and it goes to your subconscious mind. And we will talk about that in a minute. The next one is you rehearse it daily, right? So for example, you read out loud the list 10 times or more per day. So it's maybe 3 times in the morning, 4 times in the afternoon, and 3 times before you go to bed. The reason why you want to rehearse it before you go to bed is because subconsciously when you're sleeping, you remember what you rehearsed. It's actually pretty powerful. So John Maxwell would say, you can say, what was the word? I will do it now. I will do it now. He said 50 times before he go to bed. I will do it now. I will do it now. I'll do it. So when he's sleeping, he's actually going to his subconscious mind. When he wake up first thing in the morning, I will do it now. I'll do it now. So actually it sink in. So I say 10 times a day is actually pretty minimal. But if you can do it 50 times a day, you actually get a pretty. The result was pretty substantial, faster result too.
Yeah.
So the next one is visualization. You want to imagine yourself with this new powerful positive label. It's kind of like your new clothes that you put on. Because in the past, you might be thinking about, let's say you think that I'm not good at I'm not creative. Okay, so this is something that I used to tell myself. I'm not creative. So I believe it. And I can't even draw a mushroom, right? But then when I start thinking, oh, well, that doesn't help me with anything if I keep telling myself not creative, but I'm a business owner. I need to be creative, right? So then I start saying, I'm creative, I'm creative, I'm creative. And then I started to visualize that I am creative. So when I write posts, when I write content, I thought the first words is always like, oh, I'm not creative, I have nothing to write. But no, then I said, no, I am creative, I can write something. So I started to write. So my fingers start typing, and creative words start coming up, ideas start coming up, and words start coming up. So this is how you visualize yourself, and then you do it, and it make it real. Or if you want to become a speaker, right, you visualize yourself speaking in front of group of people, and you visualize yourself to be so confident when you speak, and people are applauding you, they are listening, they're engaging with your message. So that's a powerful image that if you see that all the time, you will believe it as well. Even eventually you will believe it. So believe, okay, the step number 5 is believe, because the more you repeat, you actually goes into your subconscious mind, and it becomes your truth. The same thing, the negative words in the past was the lie that we believe to be the truth, right? Now we're using the same thing to reverse it. That is, we tell ourselves the positive words, and we put it in our subconscious mind. And the more we say it, the more we believe it. And when we believe it, it becomes our personal truth. The last one is the courage to take the next bold step forward. So the word that you want to use, I can and I will. I can do this and I will do this. I don't know if you have seen this this cartoon, Manoa. If you have seen it, Manoa. I think this it's like this little lady. She's only like 9 years old. So she was in the ocean. They visualize, right? So when she was when the guy that she was hoping to help him flew away, so she was left by herself in the ocean. So when she was in the ocean, she said, I am, she mentioned her name, and I cannot pronounce her name. I'm sorry. She said, okay, for example, I'm Adeline Liew, and I'm a business coach, and I can do this, and I know my people will like my service. So you can say, I am, I'm Amy. I'm gonna use your name, Amy. I'm Amy. I'm a doTERRA coach, and people love my products. And I can coach, and I can give them great and sound advice, and they love the advice. And because actually the advice help them and help the children and improve their health and their emotional well-being. So something along that line. And I will sell it well, and I will present myself well, and I will do this well. See how when you say something positive about yourself, your back actually straightened too. So words has power, and actually has the power to lift you up.
Yeah, definitely.
So the summary of this, I feel like I'm running through this pretty fast, but I think I might finish this in less than an hour time, you know.
You're doing great. Honestly, there's a lot of great stuff here, definitely.
All right, so the summary for this is, okay, so the 6th powerful step is change your self label. Number 1. Number 2 is make them visible and accessible. Number 3, rehearse daily and frequently during the day. Number 4 is visualization. Number 5 is belief. Number 6 is courage to take the next step forward. All of this are actually not rocket science. All you need to do is to take action, and it can happen.
Yeah.
It's so easy, because the steps is already listed out for you. And so the summary from today's training is the 2 secrets of growing your business. I'm sure there are more than that, but today what we have time to cover is the intentional self-leadership and powerful self-talk. So the question that I have for you is, has this training been helpful to you? I think I'm zipping it through pretty fast.
It's amazing. It's great. And I think what everyone needs to realize is that when it comes to taking the first steps in their business, these are the foundational things. You know, it's about how you talk to yourself. You know, if you're feeling nervous about doing a class, it's how do you approach those feelings? You know, what do you say to yourself to boost your confidence? To, you know, even if you make a mistake, that's okay. It's, you know, you turn it into a positive. What did I learn today? What can I continue to learn? What am I going to do better? What am I going to take from this to change what I do next time? And And I think that what you've shared today is really simple, practical steps for people to be able to start doing that. The I am statements, they are incredibly powerful. I do the same as well. And I have a list of what I say to myself. And it's so important, because the more that you say it, even if you don't believe it at first, the more that you say it and you own it to be true as you're saying it, the more that it becomes true in your life. And, like I know when I first started my business in doTERRA, I was the most anxious person I have ever met. I used to cry all the time because I was an emotional wreck. I just, I had a lot of stuff that was going on in my life. And this journey with doTERRA, I fully embraced the fact that I wasn't perfect and I didn't know everything, but I just kept putting one foot in front of the other. And I think that when you realize that you don't need to be perfect to get started, that's part of the journey. And by taking those steps is what is going to help transform you as a person, not only as a business owner. I think that's where the success lies. So yeah, no, I think what you've covered has been amazing. Does anyone have any questions about any of the steps that Addie has covered for us this morning? Feel free to add any comments in the chat of anything that you think would be helpful. I guess one of my questions, Addie, would be, are there any specific resources that you recommend for my team that, maybe just first starting out in this self journey and their own self leadership? Is there anything in particular that you recommend is a great starting point for them? Podcasts, anything at all?
You're talking about the resources for books, or is it the business step? What is it?
Just any sort of resources that you would recommend for anyone who is just starting out, like a lot of the people on this call that are wanting to have more leadership in their business and more positive self-talk. Is there anything that, when you started your journey, is there anything that you found was your go-to for this?
I do. I have a few books that I would like to recommend to all of you. Well, actually, it doesn't help because of my book. I took out the cover. It's John Maxwell, 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. I think that is a powerful book to have.
What is it, sorry? John Maxwell.
15 laws, John Maxwell, 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. This is actually, I would like to say that this is kind of like the entrepreneurship Bible the book, because it's 15 laws, and each one of the laws are so powerful. Yeah, I actually got some of the content from that book as well.
Yeah, wow, yeah, because I think because I've started reading John Maxwell's the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, but I haven't actually heard of that one. And yeah, John Maxwell is fantastic. How did you get involved with John Maxwell in his training?
Oh, because I was a corporate consultant for a long time. And then I said, this is kind of like, I'm not able to scale it. I need to do something different than just, I was creating online courses and I was teaching people how to create them. Mm-hmm. It's earning good money, but it's very time consuming. My time is tied to the corporate and tied to the time and the location. So whenever I have different projects, I move to the location, right? So then I said, well, I want to do something that is different than this. So I checked out John Maxwell and I wanted to, so speaking was one of my greatest fear, because I speak different languages. Yeah. So I have accent. And I said, well, who wants to listen to me, right? So then when I joined John Maxwell, I said, oh, actually, you know what? I can do this. And then I went to do public speaking, and I went to do Toastmaster. Mm-hmm. So then it took away my fear. Yeah. It actually helps me a lot to stand up in front of people and present. Mm-hmm. I think the most important thing is you have to rehearse, mm-hmm. and then it becomes natural when you do it.
Yeah, and then having that feeling in your brain that you are going to feel the fear. The fears are going to come up, but taking the steps to do it anyway, and then it's easier and easier. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also people responses, right? They responded well to my message, and that actually encouraged me. I said, oh, well, actually, maybe my accent is not that bad.
No, not at all. No, you're a great speaker. Oh,
thank you. So I think that's how I got into John Maxwell, and then I evolved back into online training again. So I can be everywhere, scale my business.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and that's the best way to be, isn't it?
Yeah, scaling. And I saw actually, Amy, I saw some of your testimonials on your website, and I'd love to hear a little bit about that too. You say something about how you started your journey,
Mhm.
and how it was. I thought your story was amazing. I love how what you put there.
Oh, thank you. Do you mean how I got involved with doTERRA or?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I actually just started using, and many on the call know this story, but I started using the oils personally at first. We were trying for a baby, and our first pregnancy hadn't worked out, and it was a bit of a hard time in our lives. And at the time, I just finished my health coaching certificate, so I was really focused on what I was eating and what exercise I was doing, but I'd never thought about what I was putting on my skin or using around my home. And it just, I had a friend at the time who was using the oils and sharing a lot about how she was using them. And and we got chatting, and I realized that that she mentioned that the essential oils would be great to start reducing toxins around the home. So for me, that was just I was like, what? I just thought they were hippie smelly things that made a house smell nice. I just didn't realize anything that the oils could do. And from there, I was using them personally. Then I had my son, Asher, and they've just been fantastic to help keep him really healthy and well. And I just found that I was using them and naturally sharing with people every time someone had a sore belly or they had a headache, or, they were talking about what chemicals they were using in their home. And being a health coach, I would be talking to them and I'd be like, oh my gosh, you should try this. It would be amazing. And it just really naturally developed. And I dove into the business properly after my son was born, and it snowballed. It's just been, so it's been a lot of work. And I always say that to my team, like, it doesn't magically happen, but it's something that I can get behind, because I'm really passionate about helping other people with their health. And I think if you can work out within yourself what you love helping people to do, and what you want out of a business. Like for me, I wanted to create a business that I could do from home, that meant that I didn't have to put Asha into daycare at 6 months old. I wanted something that worked for me, and it's just sort of grown and developed, and now we have a wonderful, amazing, growing worldwide team. So it's just been, amazing journey.
So how long have you been with doTERRA?
So I've been with doTERRA now for, well, Asha's, it'd be almost 3 years, just a bit over 3 years now. I've been doing the business for about 2.5. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. You're in the blue diamond, I think, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But yeah, so no, it's been great. And I think the thing that I want to remind everyone is, like, this opportunity is available to anybody, and it's just about putting one foot in front of the other, no matter how scary it is, and keeping your goals in mind, continually reviewing it, like where you're at, continually moving forward. You will have moments where it isn't easy, and it's just about, holding space for yourself and knowing that you will get better and it will get easier. And you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. It's been an incredible journey. And I think the friends and the community that we've got from this has been amazing. And I'm sure many on the call will attest to that. It's been wonderful to be surrounded by so many like-minded women. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have a great team around too. I think it's the success of a leader also depend on the great team member that you have, and they really want to grow, right? They're not just there for the reason that just to be there, but they actually really want to grow alongside you. So I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and that's what I love about network marketing as well. I can't succeed unless I help others to succeed. So it's all about, you all rise at the same time and you help and lift each other up. And I just think that it's such an amazing business model to be able to, I think, especially as a mum, after having Asha, I felt like I lost my passion and my purpose. I didn't really know what I wanted out of my life. I couldn't go back to my full-time corporate role that I was in. And doTERRA for me really gave me something to, like, it kind of, like, I don't know, revived me, I guess, in a way. I really found my passion and my purpose. And I love that it's a gift that we're able to help others with, and we're able to help people through that. And I think when you think at the core of what you're helping people to do, it just, this business naturally grows. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think also liking something that you're so passionate about, the health components, and then this actually fit into it, and then it can actually generate money for you too. I think that's a win-win for all around. It's awesome. And you're building other people along the way as you build the business. So this is a good business model.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as women too, women are very scared of of valuing themselves to earn money. I think it's a big issue that comes up for women. And, a lot of times, a lot of people can be scared to ask for their worth, and what I say is, you have every right to be successful in your life, whether when you're helping people. I think it's just an energetic exchange, I think, with the monetary side of doTERRA. And I think for women especially, it tends to be a big thing that comes up. I don't know if you've come across that with your leadership training. A lot of women are scared to charge for their time. It's a huge thing. Yeah. And I think it's something that, it takes, so for me especially, it's taken me time to become comfortable with. But what I've realized is that the more income that I earn, it's just a direct correlation on how many people I'm helping. And I think it's a really important thing to become aware of, and know that, the more income that you are earning, the more you have a chance to help even more people as well.
Yeah, it's very true.
Mm.
And I think the number itself doesn't lie, right? The number itself actually gives you the solid, it's right there. You see it.
Mm.
When you look at the number, you see that how many people you have helped, and the result. Oh, okay, that's the thing. The result is right there to see it. It's not something that's intangible. It's actually tangible. You can see it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, that's amazing. So no questions have popped up. Did anyone have any questions that's popped up? No one's had any questions pop up. But I'm really, really thankful that you've come on the call today. I think that everyone's gotten so much out of that. Was there any last things that you wanted to add, or any tips for anyone that you can sort of think of?
Actually, I have one last question. I think I said, what are the key takes away from today's sessions? So it might be good for your team to share with you, if you guys have time to go through that, because I think it would be good for them. Maybe if the 7 points plus the 6 points. Mm-hmm. I think the 6 points about the self-talk is actually very simple. They just need to do it. And maybe something they can, maybe something that you can encourage them, your team, to execute and to take action for that. Because that's so simple, so easy.
So I'll bring this on to everyone on the call today. What have been your key takeaways from today's session? Would anyone like to share what the key takeaways were? What you might like to do, Addie, if you want to scroll across to the overviews on what the 7 and the 6 points are, and then maybe someone can.
Yes. So here's the 6 points. The 7 points, I have to go back to the 7th.
Okay.
How do I do it?
That's okay.
I guess I just have to kind of go backward.
We'll start with this one. Oh, yep. That's good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep. So the 6 powerful steps to transform your self-talk. So change your self-label, make them visible and accessible, rehearse daily and frequently during the day, visualization, believe, and courage to take the next bold step forward. Perfect. And we've had Lisa said, I'll be starting a weekly self-inventory. Brilliant idea. Thank you. Amazing.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that would be the self-evaluation from the 7 steps.
Yes.
And intentional leadership. Awesome.
Right.
Okay. So do you want me to go back to the 7 intentional leadership?
Yes, please. And Kat said, more a reminder to positive self-talk. I started doing it a while ago in Jessie's 90-day group, but then let it drop. I don't think I realized how negative our mindset could be at times. As a person of faith, though, I've always done he is as well as I am. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. So the scripture, you can personalize it too. Even though, it's written different way, you can personalize it to encourage yourself.
Yeah.
So here's the 7 intentional strategies. Build positive habits, have vision, be a good follower, have self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-efficacy, live with the intention to serve, and have accountability. Amazing. Which one actually is the easiest?
Joe said, the simple ways to change my self-talk. This makes it seem easy to do daily. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, awesome. when you break it down that way, right? Lay out the path is actually make it so much more easier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think too, we need to be easy on ourselves. It's very common to forget. It's very easy to forget that everyone has these mean girls that pop up and want to try and bring you down. And I think self-sabotage when we look at it is just fear, and it's just about lifting those and shining a light on the dark parts of yourself, so that when you feel low or flat and your negative talk starts coming up, you become aware of that, and that's when you can start to change things. And I think that's key.
Yeah. So actually having this, that's actually a good point. So there are another, I was thinking about this, and then I thought, well, maybe this is, like you can list out all the negative things that actually running through your head at that moment, and then you flip it and write all the positive on this side.
Yeah.
And then once you have the positive words, you can delete you can rip out the negative part. You just keep the running list of the positive words. That actually is a very helpful way too, because you already deal with the negative words. When you write it down, you process it in your mind, and then when you translate it into the positive words, you already gone through it, kind of like going from the dark to the light.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And Kat has said flipping is great.
Okay, awesome.
Great. Cool.
Okay, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just checking. Yep, no, that's good. So, yeah. And Marjorie and Shay, if you feel free to share if you've got anything as well. And there's a few others on the call as well. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I just think, and I think having a vision, what you've written there is having a vision is really important. And, dream big. It's okay to dream big. And I think oftentimes when people have a vision, they can sometimes pull that, like their negative self-talk comes up. And so they might think, for example, if we're talking about ranks, if someone's aiming for a rank, they may put there, I only am going to aim for silver rank because I don't think I could ever aim for platinum. And they're just a couple of leadership ranks that we've got. And I think, aim high. For me, when I first started, I never, ever, ever thought my business would grow to what it is. I remember my first goal was gold. And for me, that's what it was. But, I had to reevaluate that as we were getting closer and realize that I could go much higher. So I then made my goals higher than what they are. And I think when you reach for the stars, it's just, what do they say? If you can reach the moon, and if you fall, you'll end up in one of the stars or something. I can't remember I can't remember what the quote is. But,
yes.
But you can never fail, and your vision will change and evolve as you go. But, aiming high is really important.
Yes. It's so important. I think if you aim low, when you achieve it, then what's next, right?
Yeah.
But if you have something bigger, even if you don't achieve it, at least you are somewhere closer, nearby in the neighborhood, and then you can launch it from there again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for today. I've gotten a lot out of today, and I'm sure the rest of the team, when they watch this tonight, will absolutely love that. And thank you so much for taking the time. Because what time is it where you are right now?
Oh, right now I think it's about almost 9 o'clock at night. 8:30. 8:50.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. Shay has just said, loved everything about today's session. I'm only new to the IMs, and they are a game changer. I love the practice. Ways shared to include these in my daily routine. And Marjorie said, thank you so much.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And thank you for having me. And thank you, Amy. I really appreciate today to be able to share some of this good tips around. Actually, I learned a lot too as I was putting it all together. I said, oh, this is so exciting. I like this. So it's a win-win for all of us.
And what is your website in case anyone on the call today want to get in touch and chat more for coaching and stuff like that?
Oh, actually, I have them at the end of it. It's AdelineLiew.com/coaching. I think I have that. If they want to get in touch. Actually, my website has changed. Everything about my website is about the online course. But there is this, if you click on this one, you'll find that it's actually go to my old website, but it has all the content there. I just need to upgrade it and put in my new website.
Yeah, sure. No problem at all. Thank you so much. And are you on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that as well, so anyone can follow?
Oh yeah, yes, I'm in Instagram. I think I can send it to you. Amy, because
Okay.
I don't remember my Instagram.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, please send that through, and I'll share it when I post the recording up in the group.
Sure, sure. I will do that. I'll definitely do that.
Perfect.
And thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been lovely to chat, and I'm sure everyone on the call has gotten a lot out of that. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you everyone for attending today.
Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your night.
Okay, I will. Take care. And you guys have a great day over there too, in Australia.
Yes.
Take care.
Thanks, hon.
Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.
Yeah.